Well, hello, hello, and Happy New Year. This is Tarot to a T. Today we're going to do a January 2023 reading for the sign of Pisces. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. I'm going to lay down. Sometimes I don't do that when I'm shuffling, but I did already call it, and I am intending this mentally, the reading for Pisces. So I'm just going to keep talking. The message for Pisces will come out. This is a general reading. I set a general intention, and I hope your holidays went well before we get started here, and I'm sure you're looking for a fabulous beginning to this new year, as I am. So let's see what you got going, Pisces. Let's see what's going on for Pisces, because apparently it needs to come out and it doesn't want to wait. Cards of advice. Cards of advice, and then we'll get started, okay? Wow. It's tumultuous. I'm sensing something tumultuous here. Yeah, this is kind of the way shuffling is going. It's kind of rough. It is coming out, though. We are making some progress. One more card. What message for Pisces? Okay, let's get to it. Five of Diamonds was that card that jumped out while I was shuffling. Felt a strong urge to go ahead and present it to you. This is a change coming in your finances. It has to do with a settlement or negotiation. It's that kind of financial change, not necessarily like a windfall where, you know, some kind of sum of money falls in your lap that you weren't expecting. I think this is something you've been working on, but it's definitely coming if it hasn't occurred already. You have the colorized Joker, so things are unsettled. That kind of goes along the themes of negotiation and settlement, except that I think you're reaching the settlement here. It actually kind of indicates to me that perhaps it hasn't exactly come to an end. A conclusion. I'm hearing a conclusion. It hasn't closed off. It hasn't wrapped up. The colorized Joker is also the Magician energy, so you could have some helping hands from the universe coming in here and just kind of making things happen. I usually see the Magician energy as being positive, but it is kind of the hands of magic. Sometimes I think we can kind of instigate that ourselves, perhaps through our intention, through our our positive vibe that we put out, or behavior and actions that we put into motion. They just kind of make things evolve in a very unexpected but nice way. Queen of Clubs, she's still coming out. If you were with me last month, Queen of Clubs came out in every reading for December. I was kind of getting the indication that she represents support and generosity, that we just needed to be kinder to each other. She is a gentler authority figure. She has some power. Now, we're not looking at genders. It's just the way the energy expresses itself. Now, you could have this person around you, Pisces. This would be a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or you may have it in your chart. I think I have to keep going here to see what the context, if she's actually a person or an energy, perhaps that you're embodying. Three of Hearts. So you have some kind of decision to make here, and it's emotional. Sometimes this can indicate trying to decide between two people in a romantic context. I don't think we're looking at relationship with this reading. Just that there's a theme of negotiation, settlement, And things, I think, generally working out very well. Now, if there is some kind of settlement involved, I'm also getting that maybe you have a decision about how to use it. You know, whether you should just shove it into a savings account or invest it or perhaps pay off debt or maybe help somebody else out that needs it in your family, you know, that kind of thing. It's like just because the money fell into your lap doesn't mean that there's not somebody around you in need, and you could step up to the plate and help them. What else can you tell me about Pisces situation for early January 2023? Into the new year we go. Five of Spades. Yeah, I think this settlement here with the Five of Diamonds was the result of a breakup. This change is the breakup card. It's also about things being kind of forced upon you. You didn't have a lot of control on it in the situation, and it was probably unexpected on some level at least. I mean, I guess in another way you could look at it, although I'm not feeling it, okay, because I tend to go by my intuition, is a breakup from a job situation. Like you walked away from a job, they broke ties with you, and the settlement came into play. Especially if you're like a salaried employee or somebody who had some kind of stake in the company, where they just kind of had to, you know, divvy things up with you. What else can you tell me about Pisces situation? The Four of Hearts. So you're feeling very supported and connected in your home life. This is also indication of some very cozy, I would say cozy stability and security in your home. I don't think you are left in the cold. If you broke it off with somebody, I'm still not really seeing an indication of that here, that this was relationship. This very well could have been business or some kind of work situation. You have a lot of support personally. You're not like I said, you're not feeling lonely or alone. That's a very curious mix there. What's coming out here today? So let's keep going. What else can you tell me about Pisces situation? I don't remember your last reading. I was trying to recall if perhaps we are on the same. Yeah, I'm not recalling it. I think your last reading was the one that I had to do twice even because the camera malfunctioned and didn't tape the first one. That happens, unfortunately, it hasn't happened too many times to me, but I've heard other readers have that same dilemma. For some random reason, it doesn't record the reading. You have to do it over, and I just tend to think, it wasn't meant to be. So anyway, moving on. The Ten of Diamonds. Yes, you have accomplished something here that has brought you great prosperity and success, at least in your eyes. Now, like I said, you may not be a millionaire. This settlement negotiation, this money situation that's changing from you, it could be significant enough for you and satisfying enough that this is what you feel like. Kind of the top of the world, the top of the pentacles. The 10 also indicates you have closed off a chapter. So whatever's going on here with things not being settled and then things being negotiated, it's kind of wrapping up some kind of chapter. I do think, I'm going to take that back. I was going to say, I do think it's relationship, but not necessarily. Not necessarily. I think it could have been like a work situation, business partner. I mean, like, and I don't mean like a corporation, but like a small business, like an online adventure. And you broke it off with them. Ten of Spades. The Jack of Hearts. Your heart is open. This definitely could be you. It's a water sign energy. It's a young water sign energy. You're somebody with some inexperience. Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. It could be another person involved, if you happen to know their sign. But if it is you, it is indicating to me you have your heart open. There's a degree of vulnerability with that, just in general, not specifically for your situation. Just that when we leave our heart open, yeah, somebody can come by and hurt us, or take advantage of us. And I'm just kind of just pointing that out. So you don't have your heart closed off. Which is interesting because it's not, I don't really pick up that this is about relationships. So maybe you're just, this is kind of your general mindset at the moment. Your heart is open to whatever will be, in any sense of the word. 3 of Diamonds. There is a bit here to decide about money matters because there's some kind of confusion. I kind of see it tied up with that 3 of Hearts and trying to make a decision. So it's emotionally fueled, but it's also just kind of a general needing some kind of clarification. I mean, if this was a significant amount of money, and I am kind of backpedaling on that just because the 10 of Diamonds sometimes can mean suddenly you're into wealth that you're not used to, I think that can leave us kind of in this place of, oh my gosh, now I have all my needs met and more. What do I do with that extra? You don't want to blow it. You want to put it to good use. And perhaps this generosity represented with this Queen of Clubs. I was looking at this a second ago. I just didn't say anything. This generosity, you want to be more generous now that you're in this position that you can be. And maybe that's what you're trying to decide with this 3 of Hearts. Also, it shows me with the Jack of Hearts, it's kind of in the same vein, right? Having your heart open, not wanting to keep it all to yourself. In general, 3s do talk about a third element being involved in the mix, whether it's a person or just like, a particular, a piece of information. What else can you tell me about Pisces situation here? It's kind of a reading that's not telling me really exactly dead on what this is, entailing. The only specifics I have, just go over them again, is it involves finances. It involves a change in finances. And there's some kind of emotional element that I don't think is about relationships so much as, like I said, generosity in some way, or charity. Especially with that Jack of Hearts. Anyway, yeah, look at that. Got the King of Hearts. It could be another water sign around you that kind of represents this is more authority, more domination. I actually kind of see it more of you kind of feeling like you're in this position where you have some control. The King can also, can take control in emotional matters, certainly. Like you're more in charge of your emotions. Even though there's a little bit of indecision, doesn't mean you're not in control, right? I'll just say in general, this is also kind of a fatherly, loving father energy. Someone who guides, who has a strong character. Like you look up to them, they can guide you, give you advice. I mean, that could be somebody around you, but because it's in the vein of a water sign, I tend to think, okay, with you Pisces, this could be kind of, right up your alley. This is like a mold that you would fit into, having your heart open, but also feeling like you have great control now. I do get the sense that you have some kind of control now you didn't have before, especially with the 10 of Diamonds. That's a fantastic card. Fantastic energy to be in. Let's go ahead and look at your cards of advice. Six of Diamonds, yes, you are ready for these new opportunities and options here where you can take better financial responsibility. Again, I think those decisions that need to be made are about taking financial responsibility. I feel like with the six also, you're going to have more than just what's in front of you at the moment. So just keep that in mind, because it kind of talks about the future, like going forward with that. The 10 of clubs. So you have wrapped up a major cycle and it's resulting or involving some kind of travel. Again, closing off a chapter in your life. You know, you could be in this position now that you can travel, especially with COVID kind of not necessarily being over, but we kind of got it under wraps as far as how to handle it, right? We can all travel more now. Perhaps you're looking forward to that. I also see it as metaphorical. You could be traveling from one mind space into a new mind space, just a more positive outlook, for example. But the travel is always for good reasons or pleasure. The Eight of Diamonds, you could be thinking about starting some kind of entrepreneurial pursuit. This is the entrepreneur card. Don't say that too fast. But it's also about hard work and time and effort paying off. So it's definitely a solo effort, even if you're not in business for yourself or you're not thinking about doing that. There's something that you've really been, again, working hard at. I mean, it's evident here with changes coming up, even though that may be a settlement, but this here, that you are reaping some rewards. And abundance can come in all different forms, right? Not just what's in our bank account, but physically, like a home, a new car, you know, everything kind of like on the upswing, on the upgrade. The Five of Hearts, there's some kind of separation here. Five of Hearts does talk about separations that affect us emotionally, but not necessarily relationship like romantic, because it can mean somebody having to be away from home a lot to work, for example, or going off to college. As far as advice goes, there may be an element here of you still being emotionally invested, and it's advising you to separate yourself. You get my drift? Because otherwise, I don't see how separation in the scheme of things here would come into play. I mean, if it comes out, and we've been talking a lot about relationships, especially with this breakup card, then I would say, yeah, it's advising you to physically separate, but it could just be emotionally, you need to remove yourself. That's what I keep hearing. You need to remove yourself emotionally. So that is a separation. It's just a different type of separation. Because this is all fantastic. You're not like breaking up with somebody. I'm not really picking that up. I mean, if it fits your situation, that's what it means. This reading probably is not that applicable, because I'm just not getting a lot of relationship themed energy out of this. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. This also came out in your advice, the King of Diamonds. Taking better control of your finances, pretty straightforward. King of Diamonds is very good in business matters. They have very practical business sense. They make very solid decisions based on logic. On the other hand, I do want to mention you could have a earth sign or earth in your chart, an earth sign that's involved, or someone you could go to it for advice. Especially, I just got this, since you're trying to make some decisions here with these threes. You might need to consult this earth sign Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Earth signs generally have a better, like I said, a better sense of money. They're very practical with material things, especially Tauruses. I'll say that. I've known a few Tauruses. So, any other cards of advice for Pisces? Starting off this glorious new year, hopefully for everyone. Six of Hearts. Pisces, if you want relationship, here it is. You have the options and opportunities presenting themselves to you or coming your way. Okay? The road is clear. This indicates to me you have no baggage around getting involved with somebody. Now, if it's not romantic, this could be just somebody, the potential to meet somebody who could be very significant that you're going to let in on some level so that they become like a close friend, a confidant, even a business partner. Really, anything under the sun. But they're going to be more than just a casual acquaintance. You're ready to trust, especially since you got your heart open. Any more cards of advice for Pisces? Jack of Spades. Now, if this represents a person, this could be a younger air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. This could be somebody that you potentially are meeting, since we just did talk about opportunities coming up for you in relationships. On the other hand, when this card comes out, it tells me that there's some distrust or perhaps some apprehension around somebody you already know or a situation. I mean, it's possible that you're still feeling like maybe you're not ready to get involved with relationships, so you're distrusting that that instinct or that impulse. You know what? In the context of advice, you could be advised to watch out for a person like this, because this person, if it's not you, it's somebody who does have ulterior motives. You know, someone who smiles on the outside, but inside they're scheming against you. They're not somebody you can trust, in other words, even though they don't appear that way. Let me get some more information, please, on that Jack of Spades. Tell me what that's more about. I can't leave it on that note. It could be you or it could be somebody else. Oh, Queen of Hearts. So, you got the... So, we had the Jack of Hearts come out, the King of Hearts, and now we have the Queen of Hearts. This is very much water energy. I think this is really about you. Let's say there's a little bit of a warning here, because this is very nurturing and motherly energy. It's like perhaps you are expressing this or potentially expressing this towards this person. Again, this would be an air sign. And you have to, I think you just have to be careful. Like I said, that's what the Jack of Spades represents. There's somebody that kind of hides stuff. They're up to something, you know, without revealing what they're up to. I'm not saying it's going to be particularly bad or traumatic, but I think there's somebody around you that's very curious that came out right at the end of your advice. I mean, we do have a lot of face cards out up here, but I think this is somebody you feel very attached to in some way. I think this is you again. This is the water sign energy. I'm going to ask for one more card. Any more advice here? Because that's what it's going to be. I'm going to name this reading, Watch Out for the Air Sign. And again, they could be younger or immature in some way, like, you know, less experience. You know, somebody around you that kind of, when I say that you're like, oh, it could be that person. Less experienced in some way. Seven of Hearts. Yeah, potential here for a broken heart. Seven of Hearts is being disappointed by people, people not coming through, and again, it's the short-lived energy of things looking really good on the outside in the beginning, and then they're short-lived. It ends up being a real downer, a disappointment. Unfortunately, that's what I'm going to have to point out to you here, that there is somebody in your midst. And I don't usually get messages that are this, like, pointed, you know what I mean? They're usually not this blunt, but this is a pretty blunt message to me. Younger air sign or somebody less experienced who you feel very nurturing towards, so you feel attached to this some way. You're fond of them in some way. There's a potential there for them to really let you down, break your heart. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say, because I don't have a crystal ball. I can't read much more into that. I don't want to be just straight up about that. Okay, but there is the potential here to meet somebody special. So if this person comes along that fits that description, I mean, start asking when their birthdays are. Air signs, Libras, Aquarius, or Geminis, right? Especially if you're feeling in control of your finances, this could be somebody maybe who sees you doing well. I mean, it's interesting those cards came out together. Sees you doing well, so you're the king. In that sense, you have this control, and maybe they want to, you know, a piece of that action. You know what I mean? They want to take advantage of you in some way, because that's exactly the energy of that Jack of Spades. I'm telling you, you just kind of have to watch out. Can't say exactly what it is in a tarot reading, but take it how it fits and just watch yourself on that. Otherwise, there's just some kind of emotional separation that needs to occur. Only you would know how this applies. I can't really elaborate on it too much, because all of this looks pretty fantastic. I mean, financially, you're just looking it's just amazing. Wish I was a Pisces, but I'm not. And there could be some potential for some travel here. Okay, I'm going to end it there, Pisces. This wasn't a real, like, clear message. You have a couple of things there. But I hoped it helped. I hope it enlightened you in some way. Maybe something just stuck out for you that you went, okay. You know, an interesting thing that coincides with what you know is going on in your life. But if you'd like to see when the next reading comes out, go ahead and hit subscribe notifications so you'll get that notification when the next video is uploaded, or save this video so you can find my channel again. Just check in. Alright, Happy New Year, and take care until I see you again.